All right, so we are working on our next example where we are going to find the circumference of a circle and they are going to give us the diameter. So the Niagara Sky Wheel, which overlooks Niagara Falls, Canada, has a diameter of 50.5 meters. Find the circumference of the Niagara Sky Wheel using we're going to use 3.14 in place of pi, and we're going to round it to the nearest hundredth if necessary. All right, so last video I told you that we can either isolate the variable if we are using our ratio of circumference to diameter um, for us to solve for this problem, or you can rearrange it, right? And we could say, hey, C is going to be equal to the diameter or pi times the diameter. Okay, so we multiply the diameter by both sides. That gets rid of the diameter on the left side, leaves the circumference alone, and then you have the diameter multiplied over here, which is what you end up with on this side. So either way will get you the same answer. I'm going to solve it both ways so that you can figure out which one works best for you. All right, so what we have here is I'm going to start with I'll start with this one here, and then I'll start with the and then I'll move on into the other one. So we're going to say that the circumference is equal to pi, which they told us to replace that with 3.14. Now, because we're replacing that with 3.14, it's not equal to anymore. It's approximately, right? So I'm going to use my approximation sign. And so we have 3.14 times the diameter. The diameter is 50.5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply 3.14 and 3.14. I'm going to also show you another key that you can use times 50.5. And that is going to give you the circumference is approximately 158.57. And what was the units that we was using? Meters. Okay. Now the other way, so this is solving it this way. All right, so the second way that I'm going to solve it is isolating the variable. So we have our circumference, which is what we are trying to solve for. So I'm going to leave my C. The diameter is going to be 50.5, and that is going to be equal to pi, and pi is going to be replaced with, we're going to make that approximately because we're replacing it 3.14. Okay, so what we would need to do here is remember if the variable is not isolated, we need to work with PEMDAS from the bottom up. We don't have subtraction, no addition, but I do see division. So we're going to multiply both sides by 50.5. Okay, so what we end up with is C is going to be multiplied by 50.5, right? And then we're going to say that this is equal to 3.14 times 50.5. Okay, so 50 divided by 50, I'm sorry, 50.5 divided by 50.5 cancels out. We're left with C is going to be equal to the value of 3.14 times 50. So we can plug in 3.14. But also, a lot of times, or on most calculators, scientific calculators for sure, you'll see the pi bar. So you'll see the symbol on here, and if you press that, it's going to show you as many digits as it can fill up on the calculator screen. So we're going to plug that in, and then I'm going to multiply that by 50.5. So let's see what happens to our answer now. All right, so now we've got 158.65, and that is because we used the calculator. It went out more digits, which means that this is more precise. Okay. However, on your problems, when they are asking you, let's just stick with what they're saying. They're saying 3.14 for pi. And so we're just going to give them 3.14. But if they don't specify that, it is totally okay for you to go in and use the pi button that they have on the calculator. So we're going to say 3.14 because they don't want us to go too far. They don't want us to be too precise. We're going to multiply that by 50.5. It's going to be 158.57. So notice that we did it both ways. We came out with the same answer. So either one, now at this point, it's just about preference. If you want to simplify your steps, just remember you have to have it set up where C is going to be equal to pi times D. However, if you want to keep it in the ratio form, you'll remember that C over D is going to be equal to the value of pi.